Protests organized by high school students are happening around the country since the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Colleges and universities across the country are releasing statements saying high school students who choose to protest will not impact admissions decisions. Elon University administrators have released their own statement this afternoon. Vice President for Enrollment Greg Zeiser says, quote, Elon University encourages civic engagement and also supports safe academic environments for all students. Prospective students who are penalized by their schools for participating in peaceful protests will not be adversely impacted in their Elon application process, end quote. Elon will be holding a vigil on Wednesday in wake of the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Joining us now in the studio is Senior Lecturer in Religious Studies, L.D. Russell, who will be speaking at the vigil, and Elon sophomore and graduate of Stoneman Marjory Douglas High School, Brendan Duff. Dr. Russell and Brendan, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
It's good to be here.
Appreciate you coming on. So, Brendan, tell me, what was going through your mind when you first heard about the shooting happening at your former high school?
I mean, it was absolutely terrifying. I was FaceTime with actually one of my friends who is also a Douglas alumni, and she got the notification on her phone, and she told me that there was an active shooter at Douglas, and my heart dropped. I mean, a bunch of the students that have been speaking out, and not to mention my little brother is a freshman there, you know, are my best friends, and so I was absolutely terrified. I tried to get in contact with them as soon as I could, and all the calls were bouncing, so it definitely made it difficult. And I was talking to my friend Teresa, who's a freshman here actually, and she's also a Douglas alumni, and we were just saying how we couldn't get through to them, and it was about an hour before we did. It was really scary.
As you mentioned, Brendan, your little brother, went to the school and was there during the shooting. How was he doing?
He was definitely really shaken up. I mean, we're both so thankful. You know, he actually has about the majority of his classes in the freshman building where the tragedy occurred. And so, you know, we were just beyond thankful that it wasn't another day or it hadn't been at a different hour during the day, because the chances are really, really high that he would have been in those classrooms with the students that he knew.
Now, Professor Russell, tell us about the event that's coming up that you guys are both involved in.
Okay, both Brendan and Teresa Prather, who was a student in my Core 110 class and whom I know, are putting together a vigil in honor of the victims of the shooting, and more broadly, I think, to recognize the issue of gun violence and that it is a pervasive issue. It will be on the front steps of Mosley at 7:15 on Wednesday evening. I will be offering some comments. Chaplain Jan Fuller will be there. I understand that Twisted Measure will be doing a song.
That's great.
Some comments from you and Teresa, which I look forward to very much. And it's an opportunity for students to learn more about the issue, to come together to support community members who have been touched by this tragedy, and to figure out together what we can do to change the future.
Now, Brendan, how do you feel that some of your classmates have been accused of being crisis actors or people who are paid to be in that situation?
I wish I could give a little more clarity on that. I really have no idea where that's coming from. I mean, like I mentioned, they are my best friends back at school. Cameron Caskey, Alex Wynn, Sophie Whitney are people that when I go back home, they're the first people I see. So I don't know. I mean, I was there on their first day of high school. I was in classes with them. We did theater together since they were 14. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's definitely just people who are in denial of this and want to counteract this, you know, gun control agenda, and are saying, you know, these are people that are paid to do this. This is, you know, they're trained for this, but I could not tell you why that's happening.
Dr. Russell, I saw you nod when I was reading the statement from Elon University earlier.
Yes.
In your time here,
yes,
despite all the shootings that have occurred, have you seen a statement like that from the university?
No, this is quite a moment. This is quite a moment. And I'm absolutely thrilled to see Elon University make that statement. And it's the kind of thing that Elon University does. Elon gets it. And we want to support these students. We want, of course, students to be safe. We all want to be safe, right? And I think it's also why when Brendan and Teresa approached administrators about the possibility of holding this vigil, they found support at that end. So yeah, this is a moment like, I can't even tell you, as someone my age who came of age in the late 60s, early 70s, at a time in this country when things were so divided, in so many ways there are parallels with today. And what I see is finally a generation who are stepping up to do something about it, to make a difference, to go up against those who would come back with some cynical response, right? And actually try to change things for the future. I've been waiting for this generation for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're finally here.
All right, well,
Well,
thank you, Dr. Russell, for
Yes.
coming onto the show, and Brendan.
Hopefully your friends stay safe, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that your family is safe still. Well, thank you for joining us. The vigil will be on Wednesday, March 1st at 7:15 on the steps in front of Mosley.